WIFTBPM.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed.
Special thanks to Love McPherson. And when you talk about object sex, you and objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. Then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes.
Bitch, you is a hoe. Oh. Bitch, you is a hoe.
And I thought pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize, even in our spaces, the black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed.
Oh, look, just like milk.
He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. They don't do it to them, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
I said what I said. Herb 2, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
He like Maze said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, that not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah?
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
WIFTBPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
WIFTBPN.
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Toussaint Werner. This is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. We feel this is the blackest conversation in America, and we are so grateful that you have chosen to be a part of it. Thank you all so very, very much. We kindly ask you to please take a quick second to share the conversation. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Anyone that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion. As always, your input is certainly valued and appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, leave your comments in the section. Leave your what am I trying to say? Leave your comments in the comment section, right? And we will read through as many of them as possible as we go through. Hope this day finds you doing extremely well. Again, this is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Toussaint Werner, too. What is happening, good brother?
What up, though? Blessed and highly favored, family.
Glad to hear it, man. I'm feeling pretty good, man. I know you a little uncomfortable, but we kind of close, huh?
Yeah, we got matching shirts on and shit. This
Hey.
is very uncomfortable.
I got on match. See, leave it to Esco. She always gonna take it 5. Like, oh. She always gonna do it.
Look like we called each other before we came up here.
Hey, you know, whatever.
I'm with him. She's with me. That's next level. Come on, man.
Esco, how you feeling today? Cool.
So she ain't got no mic. Shout out to Esco.
Huge microphone right in her face. She just front. She don't be fucking with us, bro.
That's what
She
it is.
don't be fucking with us.
She's a Confederate.
She
done chose her team.
She done chose her team, and she sticks with it, man. Listen, we have a phenomenal show planned for you guys. We are going to be joined live in the studio by the cast of a groundbreaking film. It is called We Built It. They're going to be in the studio. They're going to tell you all about it, what started it, and what it is about, and when you can actually see it. The premiere is actually coming up. I'm looking forward to it. But before we do, man, I think I'll just check in with you too, man. First of all, I don't know what's going on like Lakeshore Drive, but this is the second time in a row that I've been on Lakeshore Drive in like 2 or 3 days, and just south of 39th Street, there's a car flipped over, like completely flipped over. I don't know what people are doing around that curve. It's not even a crazy curve like that, but it was another car flipped over. I thought I was gonna be late because I came around the thing and it was just all brake lights, and then the fire trucks blocking off 3 lanes across. Police out there. So a car flipped up on his head. I don't know what folks doing.
Blame it all on 2020, man.
2020.
But check this out. It's the first day of early voting.
Okay.
And I saw them lines on the way here.
Really?
And it's ridiculous. It's worse than when Obama ran. It's really ridiculous.
Well, that's good. People trying to get out there early.
I don't know. You know how I feel about that. I'm a vote, but I'm voting down ballot. So I'm not voting for president. You know, we've made that clear several times. But I don't know, man. Just it's interesting to see the response from our community specifically in contrast to like the community that was in Arizona when I was out there last week. And I still think Trump's gonna win personally.
I kind of feel that way too.
Yeah, I think Trump's gonna win because black people are only in like 4 places, so we've kind of qualified that. So after we get past Atlanta, Chicago, LA don't count because black people really not there. They're like less than 2%, so that's not a real number. But you know, you get past Detroit, Chicago,
you know what I'm saying?
Atlanta,
New
York.
We in the DMV.
It's pretty much a wrap.
DC, Baltimore area.
It's a wrap. And the rest of the country is committed. They're committed. So I think Trump's gonna win. It's just interesting to see them lines the way they were. It's interesting to me.
I'm a day of voter. Like I don't do like the mail. I don't really rock with the mail like that just in general. As far as like sending shit. And then I just kind of like the process of going in there on the day of. And you know, it's a polling place. Well, it's usually one. I don't know what Trump and them gonna do. It might be one in this whole fucking city, but it's usually one right down the street from my house at South Shore High School. And so I just walk down there 6 o'clock in the morning, put my thing in, I'm done with it. You know what I really hate? How thirsty people be for them weak ass stickers on vote day.
But that's what they go to vote for because they don't know nothing about the policy. They don't know nothing about legislation.
That is a pet peeve of mine.
Like that's what it's about. It's about the picture for Instagram. That's what
it's fine. Like but it's like I voted. Did you like?
But that's why Trump is our president right now. That's why Trump is our president. No bullshit. That's why Obama was our president too. No bullshit. I know we hate to admit it, but you know he ran his campaign like he produces a rap album.
It was brilliant.
He made himself a celebrity instead of and not. I don't want to say instead of because don't nobody pay attention to policy. We asked anybody who's their senator right now. We walk down any Chicago street.
They fucking alderman.
Who's your alderman? Who's the state senator? Who's the fucking mayor?
Right.
You still would come up with some bad answers.
Right.
So yeah, we got to start paying attention, man. It's just interesting for me to see it all play out because them lines is long as shit.
But again, it's like what we talk about with politics in general, right? The symbolism be more important than the actual substance. So people just want the symbolism. Like, hey, I voted. Great, you should vote. That's your civic duty. That's phenomenal. But miss me with the fucking sticker, please. Like,
shout out to Mom Belinda. I got to send her a list of judges to think about. So I'm gonna send you that list. She just reminded me.
Right now, that's the work that needs to be done. Right? Don't just come in here and show me you voted. Like for who? What judges in there?
For what?
For what? You know what I'm saying? Like
for what?
Like what we doing? Good, go vote. But like, can we get some actual shit done with this thing and not just, hey, I got my sticker and I want to take a picture and I'm awesome.
Yeah, man. We kind of a neurotic ass country. You know what I mean? It's a book. I think it's called the DSM.
Yeah.
And the DSM it like explains all of the mental illnesses.
Sure.
Right? And they had to legitimately take narcissism out of the DSM because they say so many people are narcissistic in this culture.
Yeah.
To call it a mental illness, we'd have to label everybody in this country as a narcissist.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
I think it's kind of real. I think it's kind of real in America.
I believe it. That's why Instagram don't even have fucking words. It just look at me. That's narcissistic to the motherfucker. It's narcissism. It's funny though.
I think it's real. I mean, that's what I was saying. I think one day last week I was saying like that's the thing about America. Like the American dream is about this idea where you can come here, you can be whatever you want, and you can achieve, and you can do this, and you can do that. It don't got shit to do with nobody else, right? It ain't about a collective. It ain't about nothing. Just me, and that's kind of how we move. There is no sense of connectivity. There's no sense of the collective, and especially in the black community, if we don't find our way back to that collective, we fucked.
Yeah, but on some narcissistic shit, man. Listen, I know you got on your socks today. I came in with my pine green. You can't pop these nowhere right now. I'm just saying. Fresh to death.
I hate you, narcissists. I have socks with my face on them. while I'm talking about people being narcissists. You don't have socks with your face on them. That's fucking terrible. Listen, we gotta take a break. When we come back, we will be joined live in studio by the cast of We Built It. This is I Said What I Said. His name is Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. We'll be right back after this.
WIIFTVPM.
What's up? This is Mike Love.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Diz.
Sounds like Bad Boy Radio.
Yeah, but it's not Bad Boy Radio because we are now Chicago famous, but we are back on the air.
3 to 6, Monday through Friday.
All right, you tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody it's going down. Not only will you hear us on air, but you'll be able to see us as well.
What's in it for the Black People Media? Make sure you check us out. Cootie Simmons, of course. I just knew he was Cootie,
right
from Channel Zero.
I mean, that's how we know him. We just know him as Cootie.
Now let's talk about this joint that you guys recently dropped. You directed the Stephon Marbury documentary, A Kid from Coney Island, that's on Netflix right now.
When they came to us about the project, I was like, Stephon Marbury? I'm thinking Tim Hardaway. I'm like, man, Marcus Liberty. I'm like, Stephon. I
still Chicago.
Don't know New York. I don't know Stephon. Right, I'm thinking, exactly. I know how to tell a Chicago story good,
Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTVPM.
And we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Herb Howard, Toussaint Warner here with you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. We absolutely cannot tell you how much it means to us. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook, on the Mace Jackson page, and shout out to everybody watching on YouTube as well. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Please take a quick moment to share the conversation if you have not already done so. Also, if you would like to contribute to the show, you can do that as well by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We certainly appreciate every single one of those. Actually, let me take a quick moment to share the conversation. I haven't actually done that yet. Boom. There we go. Told you guys that we were going to be joined in the studio by the cast of We Built It. And as usual, I'm always telling the truth to y'all. They are here. We are joined live in studio by Shiest Love, Pink, and Dominique Lachey. How are you wonderful people doing?
Great. Wonderful.
I am glad to hear it. Shiest, what's happening, man?
Man, bless him, bro. Bless him. I'm having a good time so far.
Appreciate y'all so much for taking the time to come up here.
Man, it was hard to get in here. Bro, I was in a WIC office. I was outside. People trying to give me food. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to do radio. Like, give me a minute. Like, I'm just trying to do radio.
Yeah, no, we can't just be having people rolling up on us like that. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like Toussaint and Salim Muwakil and Mike Love famous. So,
That is kind of true. That is kinda, just on that
On some narcissistic shit.
It is kind of
So
Hashtag narcissist shit. I
right.
got
You know what I'm saying? But no, in all seriousness, man, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to come up here, let us know about the film and chop it up with us about it. So first of all, well, let me go around the table and say hello before we hop into the movie. Pink, how are you?
Yes, sir. I am good. I'm excellent.
Good. I'm loving the energy.
Yes.
I'm loving it. You
Yes.
take it up a notch. You like Esco.
Right.
Sonia Escobar is like that. She's on charge 24/7. I like
Right.
it. I like it.
I wake up with energy.
Yeah. No coffee, no nothing.
Nothing.
Just ready to roll.
Mhm.
I dig it. Yeah, I know you too, Esco. Like,
back there cheerleading.
Right. Esco be back there standing up. I think she's sitting down. I can't. Anyway, Pink, I really appreciate you taking the time to come down. I'm looking forward to finding out your role here in this particular film. I'm absolutely excited about it. I've heard some of the particulars about it. I know you all have the premiere that's coming up. Absolutely looking forward to that. I did get the link to the RSVP. I haven't done it yet because I procrastinate, and I'm going to end up not being in there. Yeah, I need to get that done, right? I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done.
Pass it on to me, too. I want to see the movie.
I don't really like going places with you, bro.
I don't want to go with you. I just want to. Yeah,
you
got jokes. We're funny. Don't start no shit you can't handle. Don't start no shit you can't handle.
Hey, we with that. We with that. Also in the studio is Dominique Lachey. Dominique, how are you?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
I'm good. I love your shirt. Be kind. That's the type of balance we need because clearly Shiesta over here not being kind to us. But you know,
I like your hoodie too. Trust your process.
Trust your process. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for taking the time. Truly, truly appreciate it.
I'm just get your hot boy herb when I see you.
Jesus Christ. See, y'all,
that's why I don't like sitting here.
Y'all started this. Like, it's y'all fault. The Adrian Andersons, the Beulah's, McCoy, like it's y'all fault that he acts this way.
Shout out to Adrian Anderson though. They just started a V-cut fund for the dude. They want to see his chest out on here. They spent a lot of money. We gonna have to get a dude in there with his chest out.
So on Fridays, y'all, because Dominique like, what the hell y'all talking about? So on Friday, what'd you say?
What happened?
She's excited. She's like, can I come back on Friday? So on Fridays we do relationship talks. And so, you know, we have just different people come in and talk about relationships. We have women come through. We have some guys come through. We've had sex workers and porn stars come through and talk about relationships. And so some of the female contingent of the I Said What I Said family have been imploring us to have a brother in here with a V-cut and his chest out and all this extra stuff going on. And apparently they are starting a whole fund to ensure that it happens. So a V-cut fund.
Serious. Wow.
DS and Adrian, get it together, man. Get it together. But we are gonna hook y'all up though, cause we look out for y'all. So we gonna hook y'all up. We got y'all coming. I don't know if it's gonna be this Friday or maybe next Friday.
We'll have to do that on Zoom or something though.
He gonna not in here? Not up in here.
Not up in here. Corona. You know what I'm saying? We got to say Corona. It is what it is.
We got 8 people in the studio right now, but
like
not one V-cut dude.
Corona. That's too much.
So that's what that's about, Dominique. So you know, I Said What I Said family. They're a little different. They're a little different. They act like us, but that's what that is. But anyway, Shice, let's get into the film, man. First of all, I know that it started off as a song, right? It was a song that you were doing like in protest about, you know, our contribution to the culture, to music, to everything else that's going on, and then it's kind of evolved into now we're at this film, but there were a lot of things in between.
Yeah, so it's so I call it the We Built It experience.
We Built It experience.
It literally started off as a song, just wanting to protest my way. You know, I don't necessarily want to go march and you know, do this and do that. So I'm just like, yo, let me do something to really evoke emotion, so that way people can really feel something from it and make a decision. So for me, it started off as a song. Probably reached out to like 20 different artists in Chicago. 3 showed up. You know, people are, and
well, you know,
and literally like that was supposed to happen. Like they killed the song. Like they demolished it. So and then from there. Whenever I write songs, I always see a vision for it. So we created the film, but then the process, and I tell you, you know, throughout the podcast today, how the process went from
trust your process.
You know, literally, hoodie plug, trust the process. So for me, it was just like being in the process of making the film, but then I got people, you know, dying of COVID in my family. I got my son had heart surgery. Like so many different things happened, man. To where it's like, yo, I had to really like.
Prayers up to your son. I know he got a huge surgery coming up in January, right?
No, he
had it already.
Yeah, he just had it. He's healing right now.
Oh, that's what's up. Blessings, man. I pray and I'm confident that he's gonna recover fully and do well, man. So
cheers, thank you, man.
All the prayers lifted up for your son. That's what's up. And so now we at the movie stage, right?
Yeah.
What was it like to put that together?
It was, oh my goodness, it was, to be honest, no short than life changing because I had so many different parts, so many different, from Pink to Dominique Lachey to the rest of people coming in. Like it was so many different components to where literally every day we shot, somebody cried. Like it was really emotional, no exaggeration.
So I'm finna be at the premiere crying.
You're not gonna be. It depends. I mean, if y'all dress alike, then yeah. But if you don't, then you should be
we
good.
at him. We at him. That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gave him the first one for free. Now we at him. Come on.
Levels of disrespect.
We from Chicago. I'm just saying.
Okay, come on.
We wanted to take for me for a little bit though, right? So you say you started as a song, you invited 3, or you invited a lot of Chicago artists, but 3 showed up.
Yeah.
Are you an artist yourself? But tell me a little bit more about you.
So I'm a songwriter.
Okay.
And my first film, which I premiered last year at Harper Theater, the purpose of the film was to basically, as a songwriter, you want people to buy your music, you want people to believe in your vision. But I was like, you know what? Let me turn these songs into a film because I have a background in film. I went to Columbia, I went to CVS, all these different stuff. So I created basically like a long
CVS high school?
Yeah.
You said that like it was something to be proud of. I just had to double. Let's keep going. I just wanted to know. Okay.
I mean, we are the only school nominated for an Emmy. I'm just throwing
You
that
should have been a
out there,
dolphin.
Chicago.
Relax. You should have been a dolphin.
Okay. I should have. But there was so many things that happened as far as creating and wanting people to buy my work. So I just created some thriller type, situations where like the song is a movie. And I did the same thing for this, but it was a little bit deeper. It was real deeper. Like, and again, I'll tell you about the podcast, but what started off as just us protesting became literally like me interviewing, aldermen and state representatives to be able to push for policy for federal reparations. Like it's been a whole situation.
Sure.
Like, it's just, it's definitely something that I'm proud of.
So are you looking forward to the premiere? When is the premiere and where is the premiere?
November 21st, Harper Theater, and it's gonna be two showings, one at 6 and then one at 7:30.
And if people want to come, can they still? Is it too late to RSVP or no? It's over with.
It's invite only.
Yes, I see that. I love when I feel important.
Invite only, man.
Corona?
Nah, just invite only.
It's exclusive.
Seriously.
Cool. I get it.
Because it's like, so I'm having 2 premieres. One is November 21st. The next one is going to be in February or March. But this one is more for cast, crew, and media. This is literally like to build that, build
the buzz for it.
Build the buzz for it.
So I've been seeing a lot of people I'm cool with around the city. People like Corey Bell and Damon Williams and Leon Rogers.
All 3.
You know what I mean?
Yes, Just Niche, all of them.
Yeah.
Just Niche is in it?
Just Niche is in it. Big Mouth Bo from Netflix, she's in it. Like literally, Bianca Shaw, Sandra Taylor Bennett.
Yeah. That's fire.
Cast 4.
So you said the artist didn't show up, but a lot of influencers from around the city showed up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
How'd you go about building that cast out?
So from different standpoints, I wanted where would America be without Black inventions, Black culture, and Black creativity. I want people to speak from different parts. So for comedians, I don't want them to necessarily speak on reparations, but I want them to speak on the First Amendment and how important it is in our culture to have. So it's just a bunch of different situations. But for me, I just, DMs are powerful. DMs, comments, favors, all that. I'm out here working.
Well, that's what's up, man. So when you reached out to me about it, I was like, well, what is it? What is it about? And then once you told me what it was about, I'm like, hell yeah, that's like that's what it's about. Like that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? And then also, y'all talking about like donating a lot of proceeds to Chicago Public Schools.
$50,000 of the proceeds go to Chicago Public Schools. The first $50,000. So this is not
before you get paid. You giving
before
CPS
I get
50K.
paid, before anybody do anything, I'm giving CPS $50K just for the simple fact that I'm one of the kids who went through it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they need it. I want to be able to bless my city. Simple.
That's what's up, man. I commend you for it. It's a dope project. It's born from such a real place, right? And a real thing. We talk about how our culture gets kind of hijacked all the time, right? People try to steal our narratives and people try to take control of, just all the shit that we do and then be like, nah. Not like act like it's theirs, right? Like, oh, we started that. Like, no, you didn't. We started that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's real, real good to tell that story.
And so it's funny you said that. And then if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna have Dominique go because she actually got to run up out of here to get to her emergency. But for me, it was like when I'm looking at it, I was at a point where, okay, what do I do next? How do I market the film? What do I do?
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it out there. I might just put it on YouTube. Like, that's not gonna work. And then I was like, okay, Vimeo got this new thing, 90-10 split. Okay, cool. But then I was like, you know what? When I get this leverage and I, go to the table to shop it to, Netflix and all these different people.
Sure.
You got to invest in our community. You're not gonna just get the film. If you want to buy this film for $3 million, okay, I'm gonna need you to put $1.5 million within 4 years to CPS or to push federal reparation policy. Whatever way you want to do, I don't care how it is. You ain't gonna just go and just buy something and then, own 50%. No.
Yeah.
You can own that percentage for only 2 years, and then you're gonna put it into my community.
I love it, brother. I love everything about it. Sounds
that's not working for me.
super dope. Miss Dominique Lachey. Tell me how you got involved with the movie and tell me what your character's role is in it.
Sure. So, like Chai said, the power of a DM. Yeah, so he hit me up. I think actually first he shared a clip of mine from an episode I had did on Chicago PD, and he shared it on his page with a few other actors and actresses, a few of their clips, and he was like, comment, tag Dominique Lachey, tell her we need her in this film. I'm looking for somebody to portray his character. And so he hit me up on a post, and then I believe maybe through the DM, and then I responded. I'm like, thanks for sharing, I appreciate it. Tell me more about the film. He told me basically everything he told you guys. He gave me the whole gist of it, all it was about, and I was feeling it. It was a dope idea. It was really great. So.
It's hard to say, like, once you hear what it's about, where it comes from, it's hard to be like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, because it's for a good cause. So
yeah.
What's your character? Tell us about your character in the movie.
Yeah, so I played the role of the mother, and the mother was basically after the finishing of the protest, she's walking with her sons through the parking lot. They're getting ready to go, go home, go grab a bite to eat or whatever. And a cop that was at the protest stops my son, and she just begins to harass him for no reason. And my son is about 11 years old, right? He's about 11 years old, and she just begins to stop him and just harassing him, patting him down. What are you doing in this area? Do you live in this neighborhood?
Wow.
And so the mama bear in me interjects, and I'm like, wait, hold up. This my
You beat
son.
her ass?
You talk to me.
Right.
Know?
You
What's-
tell the truth. You beat the ass, didn't you?
did not.
We are all about beating ass.
Listen,
This is what we do.
With my words, I got in between. I let her know, like, not this one.
Okay.
Like, this mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
What's the mother's name?
the mother's name was Mother.
Okay, I dig it.
She was the role of Mother.
I dig it.
Mother.
I dig it.
How about you, Pink?
Hi.
What was your role in the movie?
I was an innocent nail technician who.
Innocent and nail technician do not go together.
I love it. It's a you color.
Right.
That's so ignorant.
You pay now. No, stop. That's not
Just
right.
so
You're right.
Go ahead.
And I have been bullied at the parking lot by a white female. And I got so angry, and we talk, and we started a crowd, and some other friends saw us, and they came over, and we kind of argue, and then she left.
Mm-hmm.
Is the protest about police brutality?
So the protest is about a few things. There's a whole script about how the protest started, but initially, the lead actress Mary Q Angel, who's going to come here soon, she worked downtown Chicago, and when she's just the person who cleans up the office, and she found something in the office, was looking at it, and then the CEO came back in because he left his phone, and the next thing you know, they got to talking, and he found out that she knows more than what seems to be, and so he started to take her ideas without paying her, and we're used to that, right? Somebody taking our ideas, not paying us, not giving us what we deserve, and so the world found out about it, and then we started to protest about it.
So it's like a
dope.
hodgepodge of the black experience per se, and then it kind of culminates in a protest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for Pink Scene, I wanted to showcase everyday situations. So she's literally getting off work. She comes home. She's tired. She's in a parking lot. She's going to drive off, and a white woman pulls up. Her name's Karen.
Of course
Karen,
it is.
Karen pulls up, and she's like, Pink's like, hey, you're blocking my car. She's like, you can wait.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just got off work. And she gets out there arguing this and
Did
this
you
and
beat
this.
her ass, Pink?
Yo, she was close. Yes. She was close. It took like seven takes, but she was close because she was,
Does anybody get their ass beat this fit?
Somebody needs their ass beat.
Somebody needs their ass
for
beat
all
at
of
the
this
protest.
stealing of culture. No.
I almost punched someone.
Okay.
Somebody did get their ass beat.
Somebody did get their
Somebody
ass
did
beat.
get
Okay,
their
we
ass beat.
salute you. We support that 100%.
So we got
It
had to
needs
put
to
that
be
in
a
the
lot
film.
more ass beating and a lot less screaming. Right? Malcolm X, since we like to play a lot of Malcolm X clips this rolling this week.
Yeah.
The black woman is the most disrespected woman in the, that's Malcolm X, right?
Yep.
Right.
But Malcolm X also has a clip where he says it's too much goddamn singing and not enough goddamn swinging.
Right.
That's the one I kind of align myself
Right.
with.
I didn't know he said that.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on. Should put me in the movie, fam. You got to holler at me. We be doing these things.
Come on now, what? I got scripts now. Don't play.
I'll be in the next joint.
I got a Slim Thug roll for you. I got you.
I got skills. Dominic, I know you got to get out of here. Anything else you want to say about the movie, about your role in it, about what you're looking forward to mostly as you all start the or continue the press tour?
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the premiere and just seeing the whole work come together, all of our efforts all together. And I just really enjoyed the role, just really, channeling. I myself am a mother of a 6-year-old boy who will one day grow up to be seen as, less than a teenager or less than a child. Or, how just, I feel like black people as a whole, we often suffer the consequences of being dehumanized, period, as a people. And so children are not really afforded the privilege of just being seen as just that, like children.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so I know that one day he'll grow up and he'll be seen as a threat when he's still
Absolutely.
a child, still a teenager.
Absolutely.
So I'm just thinking about all of that going into the role, going into, my process, how would I be, if I were in this situation at this moment, someone's harassing my son who's a child, for just literally existing, for being himself, for walking, minding his own business. And so I'm just really thinking about that and just thinking about all the countless children that happens to day after day. It's just pretty much an everyday norm in our society, unfortunately. And so that would kind of really help me really get into my process with this.
Being that you are a mother, how do you think you'll prepare for that in real life? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I've began to have that conversation with my son, know. Unfortunately, if you are approached by a police officer, no matter what you think, if you feel that you are in the right, if you have a right, you comply, because at the end of the day, me and Daddy want you to make it home. We want to see you. And so I began to kind of have the conversation with him, and he's been, watching some of the stuff with me in the news. He's understanding a little bit about Black Lives Matter. And so it's just it's a whole ongoing conversation with him. Police are here to protect and serve. That's their job. That's what they should do. Some are doing it. Some are not. They are not all bad. Some of them are. So when we encounter those that are, we just got to comply.
Quick question. You said you got a son too, just had heart surgery, right?
Yeah, he's 10.
He's 10. How would you prepare your son for that same kind of ordeal, that same kind of conversation?
That's a good question. So my son told me at 5 that he doesn't trust police.
Smart son.
So I was like, okay. And so we had a conversation about it, and we just, kind of told him the same thing. But for me personally, I teach my son to look as non-threatening as possible, but be smart. Because for me, like, the producer of the song, his name is Percy Beatty. He produced, I believe, I Can Fly with R. Kelly. And so when
it's Adrian Anderson's favorite song.
So for me, he was dropping his son off in college, and he said, because his son lives in like Texas somewhere, he was like, when you're driving, if you're at a place where it's really dark, even if the police is telling you to pull over, don't pull over till you see light. I don't care if they got 6 cars out there. Do not pull over until they see light, because they will do something. They will lie, and their cameras won't see you. So for me, it's just like, I understand that I can't tell my son to be compliant, but I also tell my son to trust his gut.
See,
so that balance.
So I don't know if you all are hip to the show or not, but kind of what we do here, like, we've kind of been labeled as a harem of toxic masculinity, right? And we kind of got pushback on that. But our argument, or my argument, Herb can speak for itself, is that masculinity is really a rarity in our community. To your point of being dehumanized, when you start looking at it from that vantage point, just in the conversations you both just had, you said comply, you said look less threatening, right? I think by the very nature of what it really means to be a man, you have to carry yourself with some level of threat. And I think we're continually victimized because we perpetuated this kind of concept of being less than. And until we elevate it to our God presence where we are who we are supposed to be, which is protector. And as a protector, you cannot be less than or non-threatening. Because who will you be protecting from? Who could you add protection for if you're non-threatening and compliant? And the very nature of our essence has to be, we need to evolve. And this is just from a male perspective, in my opinion. And I know there's a lot of pushback, and I understand from a mother perspective saying I want to see my son come home. I get all of that, right? But if we recognize that I said that the movie is a hodgepodge of the Black experience, right? But that hodgepodge of the Black experience tends or leads itself to most negative experiences, right? So in that, we got to acknowledge that in a lot of ways, we've been behind enemy lines since 1619. You don't get in front of enemy lines by complying to the enemy. You got to defeat the enemy. That's just the very nature of war. And to create a culture of men continually, right, of being compliant or being less than or shrinking in their masculinity, we'll never get to that goal. I just wanted to put that on the table because that's our motto in here.
Well, I want to hear y'all. I want to hear your response to that. I would love to hear. So I would love to hear your response first. You go ahead, Pink. But I will. You have a son?
I have a.
You got a black son?
No.
She might have a black son.
It's 2020, baby.
Yeah, I might. But I have a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you respond, Shy, to what Tu just said?
So I completely understand and actually get it. For me personally, the reason why I tell him to look less threatening is because my son has had heart surgery since the day he was born. So if he even gets roughed up too much, for his situation, it can cause him. For me personally, I don't know. For me, like, I'm always ready to just jump off personally, and I need to calm down. Like, somebody, a lady officer pulled me over in Ann Arbor, and I was arguing. And she was like, "I'm not sure what your attitude is, but I was just letting you know that your lights aren't on." And I was like, "Oh, that's my fault." But I was ready because I was like, "Why are you pulling me over? I ain't do nothing. Woo, I'm black." Right. And she was like, "No, your lights are not on, and it's 9 o'clock." I was like, "Oh, my bad." So for me, it was just like, I'm always ready. I don't want him to be in that situation where he's always ready. He's 5 years old. And he don't like the police, and the next thing you know, they just do a little something to him, and they can't say, like, if there's so many people who complied who still go through it,
sure,
who still get hurt. There's so many people who fight back and still go through it. So really, it's a lose-lose situation depending on the situation. But for me, I don't know what I would do. Just being honest, I don't know what I would do.
It's very real. Dominique?
Like Chase said, every situation is different, and so mostly when I'm telling my son, or the conversation we've had,
sure,
in terms of comply, like you said, you can comply and things still go south.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can comply and then it may work in your favor. But when I'm telling him to comply, as a 6-year-old, that may evolve once he gets a little older. What comply might look like would still standing your ground, but comply, because at the end of the day, I want to see my son. It's not a guarantee that I will if he complies,
sure,
but that's not to say that when you as you are growing into a young man, not to be a protector or not to be a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He sees sure, me, just in our family, he sees daddy every day. Daddy provides for us. He takes care of us. He, protects us. He fights for us. He does what he has to do, what he has to do to take care of the household. So he's already learning in terms how to be a man from his father. You know what I'm saying? He watches what he does. And even with me, I can remember being, what was it? When he was maybe about like 2-3 years old, he would want to sleep in the bed with me. And every time I would get like close to the edge, my son would like grab me. I'm like, "Wait, what you doing?" He's like, "Mommy, I don't want you to fall. I'm holding you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's so sweet." But
it's his natural instinct.
Yeah, so I see things like
unless
that
it gets
him.
Unless it gets taken out of him through the American experiment, right? Which they try very, very hard to do on so many levels. Look,
and that's what I believe teaching at home has to be in place as well. So I'm teaching him things at home, so when he gets out into the street, he'll know, how to move or how to,
right,
how to carry himself in the streets or just in the world as a whole. Right.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we will introduce you all to a couple of more cast members from We Built It. This is I Said What I Said. Tucson Warner, Herb Howard here with you to 3 o'clock. We'll be right back.
WIIFTV PM.
Trigger with instructor Mike on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Why? Why? Because someone told a great guy no.
No! God, please, no! No!
And he told that no, and he said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that no into next opportunity. That's the latest book I just released, what I tell myself about no, because children who do not understand the power of rejection and the propulsion that occurs inside it becomes adults who can't take rejection, and your next opportunity could be right around the corner if you just understand how to use that no. And that's why we exist at What's in It for the Black People Media Network, because someone took a no and said, I'm gonna create next opportunity. You're not silencing the voice, because that's what's in it for the black people is the truth. Not always that you want to hear, it's the shit that needs to be said, because our ancestors fought and died to give us the right of access, and who the fuck are you to tell me no? Only on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard.
You'll never breed a warrior.
Warriors, come out to play.
You hear that?
And that's what's happening at every angle. They're creating paradigms where we can only raise feminine men. Whether they're homosexual or not, they feminine as shit.
Sure, because all masculinity is toxic.
All masculinity is toxic in a war-torn society where the dominant society is saying to your ass, we don't never want no warriors.
Right.
You bastards.
Any book you've ever read, you can read the Bible, goddammit. When they go and they destroy some shit, they kill all the boy babies.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even want you growing up to think you're going to do some shit to me.
Animals do the same thing. If I come over here and I take over this village now or whatever, like this gonna be my pride. First thing I'm doing, killing the male boys, like killing the male babies.
Don't you even grow up with that attitude,
Don't you even think about it.
Okay?
Bitch.
Right. You ain't my daddy, you damn right I ain't your daddy. Fuck your fort, little nigga.
Fuck your fort.
You're not my dad.
That's fucked up. Oh man, I hate that I laugh at this shit in public.
That's real.
I hate that I laugh at this stuff in public.
That's real though, right? Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard live on What's in It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
WIIFTV PM. WIIFTV PM.
Back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. Truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you all being here. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We'll read through as many comments as possible as we go through. Please take a quick moment to share the conversation as well. Just click that little arrow in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, share it, and then post it. It's all good. You can leave that. I left y'all up on the y'all saw during the break that 2 other cast members have joined us in the studio. We're absolutely thrilled to be joined in the last segment by Pink and Dominique Lachey. But now joining us in the studio to add their perspective and talk about their roles in the film, Princeton, what's happening, good brother?
Hey, how you living, man?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Feeling good, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Oh, thanks for having me, dog.
Indeed. Also in the studio, CL, what's happening, man?
What's up, big dog? Appreciate you.
Ain't nothing to it, man. So two is convinced that y'all is related brothers, twins, or something. At least cousins.
They at least cousins.
Nah, man, not at all. But you know how I go in Chicago, man. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all from Chicago?
Yes, sir.
Like with Drez.
That's what it
Feel
is.
me?
But this ain't just black with dreads. Y'all, the glasses, the nose, y'all relate.
The glasses?
Hey man, I usually don't wear the glasses.
Y'all
You feel
relate.
me? I
That's
just,
descriptive right
Yeah,
there.
y'all
you know
definitely
what I'm saying? I
cousins.
brought him out for the interview. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So,
Get your intelligent thug look
yeah,
on.
you know what I mean?
I get it.
It's disarming. You know what I mean?
It's disarming.
I like it. I like it.
Look a little less threatening. Right? Look a little less
You know what
threatening.
I'm saying? You know what time it is out here for. You know what I'm saying? So like, whatever you need to do to stay alive and come back home. And I got a shorty. You feel me? He just turned 2 years old. I don't know why I'm tripping. 2 years old a couple weeks ago, and yeah, man, it's all I've been really thinking about is how to protect him, how to protect my wife.
So let's hop into that.
Let's hop right into it. How old are you?
32.
How about you, Princeton?
26.
26 and 32. So we just asked the last two castmates. They was explaining the story a little bit, and we asked, how you preparing your kids to deal with some of the issues that they're gonna have to deal with, just based around the family.
For sure.
And the sister that just left said she would, be sure that her children comply. And then Shice had a different answer, and I kind of want to get your answer. How, you got kids, Preston?
No.
So we gonna ask you about yourself personally.
For sure.
How about you? How are you preparing your children?
Well, as a martial artist, man, defend yourself, assess the situation, and just be smart, man, and understand that these people don't have your best interests. You don't know who you're dealing with, so just be smart, assess the situation, and if it comes down to it, defend yourself. I'm a believer in the Second Amendment. Second Amendment, and I believe that you should bear arms, but I believe that there's a time and a place to shoot. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to have that on your conscience where you take someone's life, and I mean it's a tough thing to deal with, just mentally and emotionally, just to think about leaving your house that you may have to take someone's life.
Sure.
You may have to eliminate the threat that comes in your way. And in regards to my son, I mean he's 2, of course, but like I'm already training him how to punch, already training him how to kick, how to defend himself, because you just never know. You just never know. No matter what age, you may have to defend yourself. Even if you're on the playground, you feel me? And to be respectful of adults, respectful of authority, but at the same time, like you were saying, use your gut. If it doesn't feel right, then do something about it. Come get an adult, or if need be, run. You know what I'm saying? So for sure,
I respect it.
Yeah, I hear a little bit more. Preparation for the bullshit in
for
that
sure,
response,
man.
right?
I have a lot of family that is in the military and different agencies here in the States, and I've always been taught that you have to understand what's going on.
Right.
You have to understand the time. And understand that, again, people don't have the best interests for you. And I don't want to put anything out there, but, like, I was always taught, like, you need to have enough ammunition to deal with the people that that live around you.
Sure.
Whether that be, you know what I'm saying, you live in a predominantly white neighborhood or black neighborhood. You never know what'll pop up. And we've seen that, with the recent riots and things like that. I don't want nobody running up in my house, and I don't want to be responsible for taking somebody else's life, because then somebody else gonna come after me if they find out. I don't want to have to deal with that. But push comes to shove, man. It's you and me.
Gotta do. Princeton, you are still in that prime age range. We talk about 18 to 30-year-old black men in this country. How have you navigated that space as a young black man? Not only, specifically from white supremacist perspective, or you talk about like dealing with the police, or just the construct of America in general. How have you navigated that space as a young black man?
I mean, it's hard. You get what you got. I had my mother, no father, so you learn from outside. If you know, you know. But at the same time, my grandfather was a cop as well, so you're taught certain things from him. You're shown certain things from him, but at the same time, like my man said over here, they don't have your, best at heart. They're here to do a job, quote unquote. It's a job, so you're just there trying to figure out how to move. Like everybody, the main objective is to get back home. At the end of the day, is to get back home. But you see those red, white, and blue lights come behind you, you immediately tense up. Ain't no protection in that. You don't feel protection when you see them lights behind you. You immediately, I'm completely clean. I go through my steps. I have this, I have this. All right, cool. I ain't worried. You pull me over. That's fine. But at the same time, you still feel that way. Damn, I'm getting pulled over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be prepared, man.
but you gotta stay dangerous out here. You know,
gotta be
Stay
prepared.
dangerous.
You gotta
Stay dangerous.
You know,
I
we
like
say-
that.
We say, you know, stay safe when you leave the crib. You know, stay dangerous too.
Nip.
You know, you got to.
Yeah.
Always be on your cues, because you never know.
You got to be as lethal and as ruthless as your enemy. You know what I mean?
I like
There's-
these young brothers.
Yeah,
y'all come
they own
back,
it.
man.
They own it. Like that.
got to.
I feel a little better about the prospects for the future. Because listen, it requires a level of militants, right? To if we are going to combat the shit that we're dealing with. Now that's not to say that everybody needs to go out there and throw themselves in harm's way or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But that has to be a part of the equation. That has to be on the table.
But it's not even militant. It's natural. It's the natural order. It's not militant, right? Militant is part of the narrative, a part of the marketing campaign to push you away from those kind of thought processes. It's not militant at
Right.
all.
Okay.
It is. It's the very nature of man.
These are facts.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you're talking about it because when I wanted to say this before the break, but I had some pants on. I forgot what the Looney Tune characters. I forgot what the brand is called. Lot 29, matter of fact. I was going to Moore Noink with 71st and Stoney. And I was like, yo, finally get out. Got these new pants, ironed them, creased them.
You're like proud of them pants.
Like, bro.
Excited about them weak ass
Like when we
pants.
actually used to iron. Like we used to
Excited about them weak ass
we used to
pants.
actually iron. So I went to the store and came back, and what happened was, I forgot. I think I was walking on 72nd, and literally, police whoop whoop jumped out. Two cops pulled guns out on me, told me to drop down to my knees, patted me, threw me in the back. I'm back there. They're not even in the car. And the next thing you know, 5 minutes later, they come back. They give me, and they say, "Oh, you look like somebody we were chasing who had a gun." All right, and storm off. I was like, "Yeah, what the?"
Yeah,
Literally.
But
So for me, I guess that's why I'm always on edge because it's like I don't know if I'm reliving that moment. Like you're not gonna just throw me in the back of no car. You know what I mean? So I don't know for me personally, but for me, it's just like you said, we always still got to be ready.
You gotta stop stressing like that, man. It's causing your hair to fall out.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But we got 4. But me and LeBron got 4 championships.
We got
though, so we got
me and LeBron. Listen, we gotta take a break. When we come back from break, bros, I want to get into your roles in the movie, what your characters are about, and also how y'all got involved with the film. The film is called We Built It. The premiere is November 21st at the Harper Theater, but you can't come.
Invite only.
But you can't come. It is invite only, but I'll tell y'all about it. I promise you I'll tell y'all about it. Appreciate y'all for being here in the studio. This is I Said What I Said. Tucson Warner, Herb Howard will be right back.
WIFTBPM.
Chicago famous with Mike Love and Diz. The Destin legend himself, Leon Rogers.
Yeah.
What's going on, Playboy?
Man, listen, honored to be here with radio legends, man. 2 brothers I looked up for and patted my success.
You walked away from your day job and you went straight in the
Man, brother, first time somebody called me to do the gig, they was like, hey, I got my grandmama's 85-year-old birthday party. She's turning 85. She has a brain tumor. I mean, now she's not going to be able to hear because she's in a coma, but she'll be laying in the room, and we just want the good vibes. Well, what is it? $75. We need you to do an hour. I'm there because of the passion. I wanted to do the comedy. So I quit. But when you quit that job, and the job I had was decent. My father, every young black man should have a dad or a father figure in his life.
Yes.
When I say he went off on me.
My son works.
When I told him I quit to do comedy, my mom, mamas is always like, well, that's good, baby. You spread your wings. You realizing what God wants you to do.
Right.
My father like, you got to be the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. I can't believe you came from my ball sack. $65,000 a year. Me and your mama combined only make 80. You dumb mother. I mean, going off. Like, me and my pops actually kind of fell out.
Old school black fathers, old school mindset. They came up working. They know how hard it is.
Hands knuckles black. Hands look like he worked at the steel mill, like he was dipping them in the lava. So, he pissed. My hair's manicured.
He's super cool and he know kung fu.
I'm clean. I work on computers.
Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
Right.
He like, I'm out here getting lung poisoning from inhaling all these steel mill fumes and touching people's mail. I'm like, look at my hands. I can't even pick up a fork and knife. Your mama got to cut my food for me. And you want to quit to do some damn comedy. He hell.
Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTBPM.
from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Herb Howard, Toussaint Werner here with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. It means a whole lot to us. We're absolutely thrilled to be joined live in studio by the cast of We Built It. It is a new groundbreaking film about really just the black experience in America, what that looks like, especially in current times. Talk about experiences and interactions that we have with police, talk about protesting, but also the film is going to do a lot of phenomenal things. In addition to being a dope project in and of itself, $50,000, the first $50,000 that the film makes is going to be donated to Chicago Public Schools. I think that is super, super dope. The cast is super, super dope. And we talked to Dominique Lachey and Pink in the first hour, and now we have Princeton and CL in the studio. Brothers, I want to get into y'all's specific roles in the movies, but first I just want to mess with your boy a little bit. Because he was in his feelings about this LeBron shit on break. What I got a question. I posed this question yesterday during somebody else's show up here. Who goes harder, the James Gang or the Beehive? Because y'all act real similar.
I think the Beehive is untouchable.
I do think the Beehive is untouchable. I'll probably relate and go hard because we have the same hairline. So that's kind of where I go with it.
Brothers involved.
And
so I'm just,
both of y'all just let it go, man.
Listen to me.
What we hanging on to?
Listen to me. I don't listen to no Cubs fans. So that's one. Ew. Okay, we Sox over here.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I do need them socks though, low-key.
No.
Them socks hard.
No, listen. LeBron is, in my opinion, he's the third greatest ball player of all time.
Who's the second?
That's kind of high.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
So y'all like people.
And I'm not saying he's the third. I'm just saying Kobe is number 2. So we already know who number 1 is.
So you like
winners?
Yeah, winners are great.
Winners are cool.
Okay, so we're not going off statistics. We're just going off the eye test.
Statistics is ass.
What do you want?
The 90s was the greatest era of basketball, period. So statistics going to look different.
The greatest era of music, too. I get it. But we are in the 2020s now.
Yeah, so statistics going to look different. The game has changed. The league has changed, right? There's no defense. You should score 30 fucking points every game. A bum should. Bums do.
And LeBron's a freak of nature. Like, they built him in a lab. The dude he's Karl Malone size. He jumped like Vince Carter. He run like AI. It's bananas, right? He's a freak of nature, right? And he's super, super cold. I'm not taking nothing away from him, just to say that he's not Jordan and he ain't Kobe. And this new era where everybody got to go bounce around and team up. Kobe played with the same team for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Mike went to 6 finals and won all 6 of them joints. All 6 MVPs,
ain't
too.
seen no game sets with Mike.
So how many rings does Kevin Durant have? Do we count those or no?
We got 1.
He did the same week ass shit,
he got 2.
He got 2 now?
Mm-hmm. He got 2 with Golden State?
Yeah,
he's a host of that, too.
Yeah, he did the same week ass shit.
No. But do we count those?
Yeah.
So
I'm not all their rings. It's still weak
I'm
ass
not
shit.
taking LeBron's rings away from him. They count.
I just need to
LeBron's
know.
a better human being, man. I think he's a better person than a basketball player. I think he's
agree with
more
that.
for the community that supports basketball than what he's done for the game.
That always pisses you off. I make that point all the time. I agree.
So what should have happened, in my best estimate, is he should have not had on 23. He should have had on 34, Magic Johnson. He's more like Magic.
32.
32, I'm sorry. He should have had on, he's a facilitator. He's not Jordan. So I get it. We're comparing him to Jordan. He's not Jordan.
Nah, I ain't comparing him to
He's
Jordan.
not even Kobe.
You never remember the facilitator. You remember the closer.
Who put the ball in the basket? You know what pissed me off?
Facilitate this conversation on to the movie.
That's why I said statistically, he has more. Statistically, LeBron has more clutch shots than Kobe and Jordan combined.
What do you mean?
Let's look it up.
That LeBron's hit more game winners than Kobe and LeBron?
Yes.
Regular
combined?
season, of course.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, in regular season.
Are we going off statistics?
Of course.
It's a different game.
No.
too,
Different
man.
game.
Such a different
No,
game.
playoffs too.
And Bron's ass.
Like
It doesn't really
2 of
matter.
Jordan's championships are not from him.
Come
Tony
again?
Kukoc shot one. shot one of the last shots.
Oh, stop it.
So, so it's not just like
who else can come in here? Who else can come in here?
Right, go get somebody.
You are wild. Who else is in the movie?
Oh my God!
Tony Kukoc won Michael Jordan ring.
No, I said last shot.
First of all, it was Steve Kerr and John Paxson.
Definitely was.
He just ain't no better. That's it. He just ain't no better, man. That's it.
Are you kidding me right now?
He just ain't no better.
First of all,
so let's get back to this movie.
Fuck that. What we're not gonna do is disrespect J-Bone up in here.
He ain't no better.
We're not gonna disrespect J-Bone up in here. If Ray Allen don't hit one of the most, I won't call him miraculous because it's all skill and practice and repetition. Ray Allen is one of the best shooters of all time.
Right.
Only him, Reggie Miller, and Steph Curry could make the shot that he made to save their ass from the Spurs. Otherwise, one of those rings gone. Right? Mm-hmm. Then they had to come down from 3-1 against the Warriors to win that one. And in that game 7, who hit that shot?
So
Kyrie Irving.
So two people took shots for LeBron and 2 people took shots for Jordan, right?
You are.
We good?
You are.
Championship against
I'm just
the
trying to figure
Warriors.
out. I'm just trying to figure out.
He kicked my man in the nuts. Changed the energy of the game. Like Draymond, you motherfuckers could deny Draymond all they want, but Draymond's energy means something in regards to how the Warriors play ball. That changed the whole trajectory of the series. He got away with the bullshit because he did do some bogus shit. That's why he got hit in the nuts because he did bogus shit first. So he's a clown. Let's keep him moving.
Okay, we're going.
That's like saying if one more person was on Indiana, they would be Jordan.
If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
If
like,
my mother had a penny, she'd
if
be
Indiana
my
had
father.
one more person, Reggie Miller was almost sitting by himself.
Time out.
I'm just throwing it out there.
We're gonna move on, but I've never even heard that, bro. If my mother had a penis, she'd be my father.
I'm older than you.
That is hilarious.
That was the
That was
original.
definitely
If was the
something.
fifth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Moving right. There's nowhere else to go after that. Yo, Princeton, how'd you get involved with We Built It, and what is your character's role in the film?
So I met my mans. We had did a community event, food drive, and he had popped up. He had DM'd me. What they say, DMs are powerful. And then I just showed up. He's like, come meet me here at this time. I pulled up. Nobody was there. So then I came back about an hour or two later. Plethora of people were here. So now everybody's back, and I just fit in, got in where I fit in. My role, I was me. Then I got got thrown on the ground by a cop, but with a knee to my neck. So you know,
George Floyd.
Correct. So
And shout out to George Floyd because today was George Floyd's birthday too.
Happy birthday, King.
Happy BA, man.
Yeah, absolutely. On top of the Black Lives Matter, on the street. Was it on 71st?
Yeah.
So that was a powerful scene, which I'm intrigued to see how that gets put together and see how it gets put out.
Wait, what about the Black Lives Matter on the street on 71st?
Yeah.
You painted.
Yeah, I was out there, man. Shout out to Will Calloway for putting that together, and everybody that was responsible for putting it together. I was out there. I think we got to repaint it. Like I think they opened the street too soon, and so like it's kind of fading away a little.
Fade all the time anyway.
Yeah. But
it looked good when it was out there though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And what about your character in the movie?
Yeah, so that was my gist of it. That was my my role pretty much was I had that one particular scene.
I missed that. Forgive me, y'all. I missed it. Forgive me. My bad, brother.
Only her, man. Only her.
My bad. CL.
It's all good, man. Me and Shice go back, man. I think we met like a couple of years ago, and he was a guest on my podcast. Shout out to Art Live Life Podcast.
What is it called?
Art Live Life Podcast.
Okay.
Art being an acronym for a reason too. I'm an artist, actor.
A reason to beat somebody ass.
Exactly.
Visual artist?
No, actor. I do a lot on the production side as well.
Okay.
Video editing, producing. Pretty much anything, lights, camera, everything. So yeah, man, appreciate it. And he knew about my acting background and where I've been with that and where it's taking me. So he's like, man, I need you on set. So I'm like, say less. You feel me? I'm all about supporting artists. Artists support artists, and that's how we get ahead. You feel me? So I had to be there, and my role was one of the protesters and whatnot. And that role, I wasn't all about the protesting. I think this in an effective way to get what you want, although it is necessary, given how it's done. That role put me in the mindset of the people that were out there on the street in the front line, fighting the police, fighting for equality, using their voice and using their body to protest. So putting me in that role and having to, display and express that effectively, I had to believe that, I had to believe that we had a shot at change through protesting. You know what I'm saying? To make it real for myself to be able to do what I needed to do for the camera. Right. And so putting that mindset, it gave me a perspective of a protester that was out there doing it for real. You know what I mean? What they're doing it for. And it's not about if it's effective or not. It's about doing something. And this was something that my brother called me on to do. And regardless of how I felt about the action was necessary because of the effects of racism. So, and that's what really...
Did it change your perspective any?
Yeah. Yeah, not so much. It didn't change my mind, but it changed my perspective. I definitely, I felt for those people. Like, they gave their time and their energy. You could have been doing anything else.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you went out there to let everybody know that this is not okay.
So
that's what it's about. Yeah.
Because we in Nick City, and not too long ago, we had not just protests, but we had like full-blown
and looting and all.
Uprisings.
Which one do you think is most effective, or do you think either is effective?
I think, okay, so let me tell you how I feel about the looting, first of all. I know people talking about, like, how can you damage your community, X, Y, and Z? I'm like, whose community?
Yeah, we ain't got no community.
Who owns that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't own that shit.
Right.
If you somebody that has to live the life that those people had to live, this is their shot to get ahead.
Right.
It's like, how can you be mad at them? Like, you're not in there, I'm big on, judging people. Like, stop it. So get off your high horse, bro. Like, you one check away from being out on the street just like everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel for those brothers. I think that given the situation, I think that was necessary to show people, like, look, we own the power. Not own the power, but we have power too, right? And, like, if y'all keep messing up.
We say fucking around.
You keep fucking up, we're going to fuck your shit up.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect to happen if you keep prodding, you know what I'm saying, touching somebody and keep, eventually they're going to turn around and slap the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like black people we're fed up, and we're fed up with this shit. And we're not going to take it no more, especially not our generation. That shit is not going. We're not flying. We see it all over the place with the Karens. You know what I mean?
I'm going to stop you right
there.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. Y'all say this, and this bothers me. I'm just going to put this on.
Go ahead, man.
Our generation shit, right? And this is part of the context of the lack of education, right? And I'm not blaming y'all.
No, go ahead.
And I can tell you, intelligent brothers just by having a conversation. Now, fuck with most of the shit you're saying, right? But just last night, I caught up on one of the shows. What's the new show with the gay dude who's written in who ain't even gay in the book?
You told me about it. I ain't watched it yet.
It's a Lovecraft.
Yes, my shit.
I caught up on the Lovecraft last night.
Ooh, I know what you're talking
and
about.
They kind of replayed the Emmett Till death, then they kind of replayed the Tulsa massacre. And in all them instances, you see that the black people is shooting back. They're fighting back. Now, they got killed.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But they go to war, right? We have a tradition and a history of going to war. My name is Toussaint. That's my real name, right? I'm named after Toussaint Louverture. Toussaint Louverture was the only person in history to defeat Napoleon, right? We wouldn't have New Orleans if it wasn't for Toussaint Louverture, right? So, but they create this narrative as if, like the shirts that y'all wear, I ain't gonna say y'all, but they came out with y'all generation. We ain't our ancestors. You'll get these hands. Let's believe your motherfucking ancestors put in way more work than you could imagine. Be clear about that, right? You wouldn't be in the positions you was in if your ancestors wasn't shooting shit up and tearing shit down and going to war full out. And even in regards to the context you made, the statement you made about protesting, and I'm with you, right? And I'm a lot older than y'all actually. I just know I am. I heard you say your age. I know I'm double your damn age, right? So, in context though, we lose sight of the fight and the history, and we perpetuate certain ideas. We don't even realize that we're perpetuating certain ideas, and they create this falsehood that creates this unrealistic idea of the history of our people. Right?
I see what you mean.
And we got to stop doing that shit.
But can I also say to that is that, like, they kill our black leaders. So that knowledge that you're speaking on that's supposed to get passed down to, our generation never really happened. In that sense of our parents were already brainwashed with what they were already taught through society in the American way back in, 60s, 70s that, held black people back.
Sure.
So that, to your point, I say that they killed our black leaders, so we don't really have that. So, for instance, your name, I didn't know about that in regards to Napoleon and having New Orleans. That's something I had no idea about. But to that point, I would just say that our black leaders we don't have or.
I think that's why it's important for people like you. Now you, you 44? I'm 30. I'm 34. You 32, right? And so I think that's kind of our role, right? To kind of be that bridge, that connector, right? To older generations. I don't know if y'all saw Brother Salim leave out here that was doing his show right before we came in here, right? So that brother is a wealth of knowledge and information, right? And so I talk to him all the time to try and get some of that, put it in myself for one, but then also then be able to say, okay, Princeton, my little bro, let me make sure he understands this piece too, right? And so I think that we have to be able to be willing to stand in those spaces and kind of be those connectors, because you're right, those bridges were intentionally burned down, those things were torn away, right? And you can't really fault anybody for lack of knowledge that wasn't given to them, right? Now I know we live in an information age and the knowledge is available to you, but you don't even know what you don't know. You know what I mean? To even go seek out that shit. So I think that it's imperative for those middle generations, yours, ours, to be like, yo, how we found a way to connect.
I 100% agree. But again, the reason I even brought it up is because you all are gonna have to serve in that role someday too. Right, and when there's a narrative that where there's a marketing campaign, because it'd be clear what this shit is. It is a marketing campaign.
Absolutely.
Right, there's this reason why you see all black men on TV as being homosexuals. That's part of a larger context.
Facts.
It's part of a larger concept. When you see the shirts that we are in our ancestors, it's laying the foundation for a different thought process. So you might be 30, you might be 20, but I got a son that's 12. He gonna see y'all as cool. He ain't gonna see me as cool.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he gonna see y'all wearing a shirt and say, I ain't my ancestors, and them motherfuckers was weak. And that's just not true. You know what I mean? And then it lays the foundation for what he sees today as being strength. And I love y'all, but that ain't necessarily true either.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So even to the comment you made about protesting, right? Civil unrest absolutely works. But it works in concert with a larger strategy. So the black leaders you talked about, the Kings, the Malcolms, all that, there's about 100,000 other motherfuckers you could name next to them who just didn't have the press.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Who's doing shit in courts, who's doing shit in schools, who's doing shit in city council. They didn't get the press, but they were all part of that larger goal. You know what I mean? So the shit, we move away from those kind of conversations, and then we just create this kind of new narrative. And it kind of devalues and weakens the lineage, and the lineage is powerful. I just not knocking y'all, but
no,
to change our thought process.
Correction is accepted. Yeah.
Sice, let me ask you, where do you see the role of art and films and all these types of things to put out those types of messages to reinforce the truth about our story, our narrative, and what our experience has been like? Do you take that as a responsibility of yours as a filmmaker to make sure that those narratives are told and told accurately?
I do. And that's one of the reasons why I take my time with some of the scripts. Like I might see something on, IG just scrolling, and it might say, oh, in 1830s this happened, or this person started a revolt and he's the first person to do this. And I'm like, oh man, that's a script idea. But then I don't want to just go off of just what I'm being told. I want to really dig deep. Because at the end of the day, like this is, like you said, lineage of some of these people. I want to make sure that I tell the stories right. But for me, I think it's both ways, because when I'm trying to gain knowledge from an older person, sometimes it feels preachy. Sometimes it feels like, oh, y'all can't relate, or y'all this, or y'all generation weaker, or y'all stuff is diluted, and it's just like, so I can't get all of the information I want to get sometimes, and it is hard to speak to older people. Do I still try? Of course. Do I still have mentors? Of course. But for me, it's just like, speaking to some people, they just look at it like, oh, y'all don't know y'all this. Y'all ain't got shit that we went through, and it's just like, yo, relax. Like,
but see,
there's a lot of
supposed to get smarter. Technology's supposed to get better.
Context
like,
too, though, right?
There's
Context.
a lot of that.
We 2 grandmamas away from slavery. Put that, when you say it like that, the shit don't, it resonates.
You're 2 people away, man.
We 2 grandmamas away from slavery.
Can I get you some poetry snaps, bro?
Right? So in that vein, when they preaching, sit your young ass down and be preached to. That's kind of how this shit works, right? There's a reason why wisdom comes with age. Sit your dumb ass, not you meaning that, but in context, sit your ass down and humble yourself. Shut the fuck up and listen. There's value in that. I got a godfather who's legitimately, Beach like 87 years old.
And he that dude.
Right? Call me every goddamn week preaching. I'm old enough to be both of y'all. Well, not you, but you. I could be your parent legitimately. You You know what I mean? But when he called me, I sit my monkey ass down and said,
Exactly.
okay, Beach. Because he has a wealth of knowledge that I ain't obtained because I ain't been here 87 years. You know what I mean? So it's value in that, and it's strength in humbling yourself sometimes too.
And it's a two-way street, right? It must go both ways, right? You got to be able to. The older generations have to be willing to pass down that wealth of information and that experience and that knowledge. Younger generations have to be willing to receive it, but then older generations also have to be willing to hear what younger generations have to say too, because that's a voice that matters also, right? It's not just a one way. Nobody's gonna just listen to you like yeah, and you're not gonna let me say shit. Eventually, I'm gonna tune you out, right?
It's how you look at it too, though, right? So, granted, the student should always be an improvement on the design, right? But one, listening is a skill that most people don't have.
That's true.
That's one thing.
That's true.
So most times people don't even listen; they just have conversations to respond. So when you say, who are you preaching at, it's because you really ain't fucking listening. Because if he's talking to you in that kind of a consciousness, it's out of love 99% of the times, right? So to feel appalled by or threatened by someone giving you love means you don't understand love or you're misinterpreting what's happening in the moment. You know what I mean? So granted, but I'm saying take the shit in because I got a son myself and I struggle with communicating with my son. Now he's very young and I'm under assumption because I was the same way, right? 0 to 25, that shit my dad was talking about, man, get your weird ass out of here. At 25 though, as a man, I start having certain experiences.
Exactly.
And the shit he was saying to me when I was 5, and it's not even being, I'm
Start to
not
resonate.
even joking. The shit he would say from 5 started to resonate with me at 25. And it became invaluable. You know what I mean? But some of us don't make it to 25 to get to those experiences because we weren't listening enough to make it that far. You know what I'm saying? And it's just valuing that shit. So again, my son is gonna see y'all as the purveyors of cool. I wasn't listening to my old man, but the niggas on the block, they was Jesus to me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but even though on the block at that time had a certain wealth of information. You know what I mean? But as that lineage, just like coffee, you keep pouring cream in that shit, eventually you ain't got coffee no more.
Right.
It's some whole other shit. Right? So we just gotta keep a balance, and that's all I'm saying.
No, I think you on point all the time, but I always say that the same old saying, our youth is wasted on the young, right? They got all this energy, they don't have the wisdom yet, and you got to be able to pair those two things together. It's necessary, and we just got to be willing to open those lines of communication and not be so blaming each other all the time. Like older generations, like, oh, y'all young kids, y'all don't know shit, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, they look at us like failed hopes and aspirations of generations past, right? And then younger generations look back and like, oh, well, y'all dropped the ball on us. What the fuck was y'all doing? Yada, yada, yada,
And
right?
it's truth in both of them statements.
And there's truth. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, right? We have these conversations all the time, and you have people like, oh, when I moved into this community in the 60s or the 70s, it was pristine, it ran and functioned like this, and now look at it, it's like, excuse me, sir, you've been here since the 70s, and when you got here, it was pristine and functioning well, and now it's not functioning so well, and it's not pristine. You're not going to take any responsibility at all for that, not none. You're going to lay all that blame at the feet of 15-year-olds. Something's the fuck wrong with you, right? And the same way for 15-year-olds to not take their responsibility for the dumb shit they out here doing too, right? It goes both ways. We have to be able, we got to just take our fucking ego out of it and realize that the bigger picture is about us moving again as a collective. But that individual shit, like you were talking about earlier, I think that really keeps everybody in a space of I'm trying to make my point. It ain't about you, right? This shit ain't about you. Don't take it personal. Don't make it personal, right? It's not about you. It's about the collective. And the more we can do things together, the better off we gonna be.
Facts.
Yeah.
But I salute you, young brothers, though. Don't confuse me, right? I just listening to you.
Yeah, this is all love.
Y'all are very intellectual. And y'all men, and that's some shit I don't see a lot. I really salute that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Tucson be pissed off. He see a lot but it's real but it's intentional. Like you said, it's a marketing campaign to kind of like emasculate the black man in this country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you turn on the TV, all you see is like not just homosexual men, but you see like flaming homosexual men. Like they want to be a woman. It's the drags.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't do that to white homosexual men on TV.
They feminized.
It's a whole different level, and so we just got to be intentional about kind of controlling those narratives, and not letting other people control those narratives for it. And that's what I'm saying. The importance of film, the importance of media, and being able to have conversations like this that can go out to a lot of people, but also to be able to create films like the ones you create to tell those stories in a real way.
Yeah,
Facts.
That's why I put so many different avenues in the story, from him being on a Black Lives Matter mural and having an officer with his knee in his neck to Dominique, who what she didn't tell you is that the cop who put her son on the wall was a white cop, and then the black cop defends the child. Like, no.
Oh, really?
The fuck out of here. So
Really?
there's a whole situation because I wanted to show that one
Nuances of that experience.
wanted to really, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of levels to it to where when people go to watch it, when people see it, like even for the premiere, it's going to be interesting because October 28th, I have a studio booked out where I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of interviews, picture with the cast and all this. But the first hour, just for the energy part, before they even get there, I'm having Republicans come in and Trump supporters to say their part.
Sure.
Tell me about reparations. Do blacks deserve reparations? Tell me the difference between a Republican and a Trump supporter. Is it one? Like, really going in. Like, people who walk in there with flags on.
Because it's the same. I'm just saying.
So, no. But it's...
Tell them about Zero Gray Lions, boss.
So it's gonna be interesting. And then the fact to see them at the premiere.
It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be lit, man.
No, that's gonna be super, super dope. There is a black owned, and the name of the shop, it's called GQ Gentleman, right? It's on 71st and State Street, right off the E-way. Super, super dope, brother. They got a lot of dope clothes in there. But what they also have in there are really a whole lot of really, really nice hats and shit. You heard me? I'm trying to tell you about the store. No, you. This ain't for him.
I've been inside the store. I know the owner.
Where they have hats.
They got a lot of dope hats in there.
Hats. Let's talk about hats for you.
That you can wear to the premiere.
Oh, I understand.
A lot of dope.
Because you got to make sure.
Oh, you can get you a blonde head, man.
This is cover. He talking about mine.
They got men wigs now too.
They do. Actually,
you can get the taped on waves. Everything.
Y'all be seeing them processes where they do like the little speed cameras or whatever, and they show them go from like shice to like y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be like, damn, how the fuck?
Like, you got Chico Bean?
Nah.
Oh boy, he done got his braided now.
Yo, y'all gonna have me looking like Scottie Pippen out here, man. I'm not.
Wow.
I am not going to the premiere with braids. I am not doing it.
Listen, we got to take a break. We got to get a couple more cast members in here. Princeton, CL brothers, thank y'all so much, man. Keep being the dope brothers that y'all are. Looking forward to seeing the film. Thank y'all so much for coming through and stopping through.
Thank you.
This is I Said What I Said. Toussaint Warner, Herb Howard here with you for about another half hour or so. Got to take a break. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. Special thanks to Love McPherson.
And when you talk about object sex, you in objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. Then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes.
Bitch, you is a hoe. Bitch, you is a hoe.
And I thought pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize, even in our spaces, the black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed.
Oh, look. Just like milk.
He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. They don't do it to them, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
I Said What I Said, Herb and 2, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I would never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Boys, step aside. The Radio Rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Hey, what's good? This is Mike Love.
What's going on, y'all? It's the Diz
of Chicago Famous. Come on. That is the new version of us.
That's right. I mean, I know you all grew up on Bad Boy Radio, but keep in mind, we are now Chicago Famous.
And we are here at What In It For The Black People Media, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Starting September 8th. Starting September 8th. Make sure you check us out.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduce property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTBPM.
We are back. We are live from the What's In It For The Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Herb Howard, Toussaint Warner here with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. If you have not had the opportunity to do so just yet, please take a quick moment to share the conversation on your page. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you feel so inclined, feel free to contribute to the show by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
Smash that star button.
Smash that star button.
Smash that share button.
Shout out to the Bigs, man.
Smash that like button.
Shout out to the Bigs, man. On the Soil with the Bigs every Tuesday and Thursday, 1 to 3 p.m. Shout out to T and Gino, man. They be doing their thing. Had another dope show yesterday. They got deep into the LeBron conversation. I'm done with that, but
I listened. I saw it.
Yeah, they got deep into that yesterday, man. Shout out to them. Make sure y'all tune into them every Tuesday, Thursday, 1 to 3 p.m. Today we are joined live in the studio by the cast of We Built It, and getting into the movie. And now we got a couple of other cast members in here. Joining us right now in the studio is Mary Q Angel. Mary Q Angel, how are you?
I am doing well.
Glad to hear it, ma'am. Thank you so very much for taking the time to come out to the studio and let us know about, one, how you got involved in the film, and then what your role is in it.
How did I get involved? Shyest picked me out. Mm-hmm. I was scrolling through my Instagram, and matter of fact, coming off
in the DMs, huh?
Nah.
Well, he hit everybody else in the DMs. I'm just saying. I wasn't implying nothing.
It wasn't through the DM. So basically, I had just come off of my hiatus.
He be trying to kick it off, don't you? He just be trying to kick it off.
What's happening?
I didn't get a DM. Chias, I didn't get a DM. What's this?
Toussaint's an instigator. That's all.
Not me at all.
I was coming off of my hiatus, right? And I come back to social media, Instagram, and I see, hey, I want you to work with my brother. He's a great guy. You got to work with him. And I'm like, what is going on?
Sure.
And all of these interesting tags. And then I looked up Shyest Love, and I saw my picture. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was a video of an acting clip. Mm-hmm. And that's how it kicked off. Like, he had put it out there that he was looking for Chicago actors that had a specific type of emotional quality. Mm-hmm. Help me find these people. Mm-hmm. And I happened to be there, and I said, yo, what's up?
That's what's up.
What's going on?
Love it. So that's how it came to be. What is your role in the film?
And so I played the lead. I am a
superstar. Let me get your autograph. What you laughing for? I ain't joking. I don't be out here bullshitting. I'll get it before you go.
Okay. So I play a mother who is, she has a job as a janitor. She finds herself in a position where she's helping out one of the major players that's in this building. And he basically steals her stuff. And, you know, there's something to be done about that. So in the climate that we're in, you know, you're looking at COVID, you're looking at Black Lives Matter.
Sure.
By the time you get to the end of this film, it's going down, and we're really addressing the situation of, as the song is called, We Built It, of what does it look like when your ideas are taken or you're not appreciated as a Black man, a Black woman, when you're really, we built it. So that's, I play a woman that kind of goes ham about her stuff, about her thing.
He was stealing your intellectual properties.
Stealing my intellectual properties.
The nerve.
That's what's up.
The nerve of you. The nerve of you.
Absolutely looking forward to seeing you in the film. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely dope. Also joining us here in the studio is Nick Bravo, a.k.a. the Wolf of Chicago.
Hey,
Nick, what's up with this Wolf of Chicago, man? Where'd that come from? Let's get that out the way.
Sure. So the Wolf of Chicago is my alias. I actually received it from a makeup artist years ago. I was looking for a new way to rebrand myself, and she was doing my makeup for a local project we're doing here in Chicago, and she mentioned, she's like, you know, you remind me of a wolf, you know, maybe just the Wolf of Chicago, maybe that could be your new nickname. And I told her where she got that from, and she said that you're always hungry for your craft. You're always wanting more, you know, you never settle for just the bare minimum. And it's something that I have always strived to be as an artist. And so I just rolled with it, and it's been something that I'm proudly, you know, accepted.
So hold up. The Wolf of Chicago's alias Nick Bravo is your
That's my real name, yeah.
Oh,
and
my God.
Yes. Yeah.
You thought the Nick Bravo was
alias, man, bro, with Nick Bravo.
Right, no, I would Nick the
That's
Wolf
some superhero
Bravo.
shit. Like,
sure.
Nick Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was hard so when I attended Columbia.
That's some famous shit
Yeah,
right
Columbia College Chicago. A lot of my acting teachers thought that it was a fake name. I had to go up to the podium while they're doing roll call and show them my driver's license because they just didn't believe me.
They thought you were just trying to get a leg up in the industry, like, because that would do it.
I'm Nick
Correct.
Bravo.
I'm Nick Bravo.
I'm Nick Bravo.
Basically that's what it was. So just to have that addition, I guess, to my born alias is something that I'm extremely proud of.
All right, cool. How you get involved in the film We Built It?
Sure. So Shyest, just like Mary, unlike Mary, I didn't get a DM. The lead videographer of the
king over there,
right?
You gotta teach me some moves.
DMing out here getting it done in the DM.
I mean, teach her some moves. That's what I really been. I'm sorry, Sonya. I'm sorry.
Why y'all see Esco? Why I gotta be like that? I know Mike. No Mike.
So Shyest and I were collaborating with a videographer that's the lead videographer actually for this documentary. We built it. I went over to a local Chicago musician's place and we discussed a project, and he loved my look. We swapped ideas on how we could work with each other in the future, and we were really inspired by each other's work. And just by walking into the room, I was inspired by his energy and everyone in the room. So you just you felt it. You felt that the passion was there,
right?
Which is something I always strive and people I want to work with. So he said, yeah, down the road we'll talk, and sometimes that fades away and sometimes it doesn't. But he was very adamant about working with me, which I'm super grateful for. And so we shot. We built it together. He said, you want to take on the lead role, the lead reins of this documentary, and I was more than pleased to do so.
And what is your role in the film?
So I'm the lead antagonist. So everything that Mary just said, basically I'm the opposite. I'm the one.
You're the one that was stealing her shit.
You're the thief. Yeah, I'm the CEO of Trump Tower.
White
Trump
people.
Tower. Yep. The
white people always stealing shit.
These white people, man. Stealing your shit.
Always stealing shit.
So yes, as you put it so kindly earlier, we hijack. We take credit for stuff that we don't deserve credit for. I'm the lead CEO of the Trump Tower, and basically I find Mary in my office with better ideas than I could ever come up with, and I steal it and try to steal that credit. Whether I'm the villain, I guess you can say.
Yeah, you're the villain. You're the villain.
Yeah, the villain.
It's comfortable.
But in my eyes, I'm the hero, because I think every villain.
That's usually how it works too. That's usually how it works.
Every villain is a hero in their own eyes.
That's that white shit. That's that American shit. I'm a villain, but in my mind though,
see,
I'm the hero.
And I gotta do the method acting though. You gotta do the method acting. You gotta dive
We've
deep.
done more for black people than anybody else ever in the history of the United States.
Hey, well, we're trying to trade truth.
Platinum plan.
So yeah, to not give too much away, I want to let the art speak for itself. When we have the premiere and stuff, I'm the lead antagonist who steals all these ideas and continues the conversation about what not just Black communities are dealing with, but communities all around the world.
So I got another question because you, Mary, was a janitor.
Yes.
And you're the CEO.
Correct.
And you're stealing Mary's ideas.
Correct.
How do y'all even get in a conversation within this film? How do you get to a point where you're stealing ideas from the janitor? I've never even seen people have conversations with CEOs and janitors. This is interesting.
Is that something that
we can't talk about that? Shice, we want to know, man.
So, you got to clean up the offices. So we happened to run across each other as I was cleaning the office, and I saw the information, and he was like, "Well, what are you looking at?" And then we got into a discussion about it.
See, Two ain't never had a job, so he don't know how close you get with the custodial crew in a place where you work.
Like, none of that job shit.
Them be some of the people you talk to more than anybody else.
To me.
Like, how would you talk to the custodian? Like,
what the fuck is a rule about? Somebody telling me my value. That'll never happen.
Right. So you have your intellectual property stolen. Pisses you off, obviously, right? But in that role, right, how do you go about trying to kind of convey this sense of where the janitor wouldn't necessarily feel empowered to kind of do anything about that in that space, right? But as a Black woman, you're like, nah, I ain't really going for this shit, right? So how do you kind of how's that play out in the film, right? Without giving too much about the film,
how do you embody the role of a Black woman?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying there's a dynamic.
A Black woman.
There's a dynamic. You talk about somebody who. There's a dynamic. You talk about somebody in a position of power, like Nick is in the film, right? And then somebody who's in a perceived position of not so much power, like you are in the film. But then you go about really still saying like, nah, this ain't cool. We got to do something about that either way.
So at the point of arriving. How do I arrive to a decision to do something about my intellectual property?
As opposed to just being like, well, I can't do shit about it, right? It's a white man. I'm a Black woman. I'm a janitor.
So
poor.
So let's talk motives, right? What moves you? So we're in this climate now. People been protesting all year, and it's really comes down to loved ones. It's like, what is it that brings you to that point where you want to do something about it? Like a lot of times people don't want any smoke. They don't want to start anything. They don't want conflict. Right. But there's a line that's drawn. So basically what moved this character was the fact that she has a son. You get what I'm saying? She has a son. Yep. This is a film that's taking place in the now. So you have to look at everything that's going on. Like right now, you would be almost crazy to try to do something that's out of pocket with an African American, Black, however you want to identify yourself, because it's like enough is enough. People are out here getting shot. It's people
like at this point you want to kick it off with me. Like you try me, you want to kick it off.
It's done. Like stop. Everything that's going on right now is putting a stop. You're pushing the stop button. So we're already at our heights, and now you're in a situation where you're stealing my stuff. No, it's enough. It's just. What's going on in the world, what's going on at home, what are you truly protecting? Like a lot of these protests and like it's a protest song, a lot of it has to do with protecting your family, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, thinking about when is this going to end? And all of that is fused in making a decision of enough is enough.
So some people are asking that may have just joined in and say, what's the premise of the film? So if we could take them back to the top about what the film is about and what you're trying to convey.
So the film is about where would America be without Black inventions, Black culture, and Black creativity. And because America would not be anywhere without that, we are fighting for federal reparations to push policy, to be able to give to, which is funny because for me, it started off as saying, African Americans, but then they grow depending on the person that I spoke to, whether it's Cobra or ADOS. There's so many different ways of saying like, because I was speaking to some people and they were like, yo, not all Black people deserve reparations, and this and this and that. So it's a lot. For me, I'm still trying to understand it. I'm still trying to break it down. But when I see it in your face. But when really sat and thought about it, for me it was interesting because it was like there are some people who, like, let's say a Jamaican comes over here in the 2000s,
right?
You know, does he deserve the reparations payout from America that a person who's been here since the 1980s been here or whatever? So there's some many layers to it. When I spoke to ADOS, they were saying like American descendants of slavery, like we need to identify ourselves. We've always been given an identity, but we never identified ourselves. So there's so many layers to this, to where it's like I understand that there's layers to why we haven't gotten it, because we don't even have a clear direction of one, how it should be, how we should get it, who it should be to.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's layers to it. Do we deserve reparations? Hell yeah.
If you
we got to take. Hold
in
on.
The 80s or the 2000s, you get nothing. Let's just start it there.
We got to take our last break. The short answer to your question about the person coming over from Jamaica is no. The long answer is going to come from two on the other side of this break. Got to take our last break. This is I Said What I Said. Tucson Warner, Herb Howard. We will be right back.
WIFTVPM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I would never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
I like that beat, man. That's kind of smooth. We are back live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Tucson Warner, Herb Howard here with you for about another 12 minutes or so. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. As always, we greatly appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube. We are grateful for you being here. We are joined live in the studio by the cast of We Built It. It is a film that is that is portraying and outlining the Black experience, especially in current day and all the things that we're dealing with. It tells that story in a phenomenal way. I'm absolutely looking forward to the premiere. It's November 21st. It's at the Harper Theater. It is invite only. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Are you excited about it, Mary Q? I see you over there.
I'm over here clapping my hands, saying yay. I'm very excited about the premiere.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be super dope. So again, we thank y'all so much for coming through too. You were during the break, you were commending Shias for doing the research in terms of ADOS, but also looking at the N'COBRA side of it too.
Yeah, if you're gonna have any conversation, you should be informed about the conversation.
Right.
So the fact that he went to those specific groups, I know those specific groups are well informed about the perspective in which they're approaching the conversations from. You know, which would, I'm sure, add, you know, a dynamic to the movie that, you know, isn't happening on a national stage. The ADOS conversation is kind of quietly bubbling under the surface right now. Most people aren't even aware of the context of what ADOS is. So the fact that you came in here and you announced that and you acknowledged it, I know that you did the research. You know what I mean? But I want to hit y'all with some useless American history real quick, based on the roles that you all are playing. So I just recently watched this documentary about a janitor at the Cheeto factory.
Okay.
A Hispanic janitor at the Cheeto factory. He used to grab Cheetos off the conveyor belt before they added cheese. Took them home and put hot chili pepper on them for his family, and that is what became
Flamin' Hots?
Flamin' Hots.
Yep.
He is now a CEO of the Cheeto company. Didn't even speak English. Was legitimately the janitor, right? But they found the idea, and it took years, but he eventually became the CEO.
They're actually doing a movie based off of that, his life. Yeah, so I'm very familiar with that story.
Was that considered stealing?
Now, it depends on how you look at it, because they did steal,
Like,
but they also paid.
we need you to give us this recipe, or we filing charges.
Right, because you stole our chips.
You stole our chips.
He stole our
Hey,
chips.
he's number 3 in the Cheeto company now, though. So it all worked out. You know what I mean?
So you remember, like, on the.
I only asked that. How many ideas did you get away with, Fury, before she found out you were stealing them?
Oh, just one. Just
damn it,
one.
Fury, you got to get better at stealing,
I know.
man.
Just
damn,
one.
you got to learn from your ancestors.
I never dealt with someone quite like Mary, so she was a feisty one.
Okay.
So you know how on The Wire, that one scene in The Wire where they talking about the chicken nuggets from McDonald's, and he like, man, Who took the bone? Who thought to take the bone out the chicken wing, right? I mean, out the chicken and make him to a nugget. And they was like, dude, probably rich than a motherfucker. And he was like, no, he ain't. He was like, the dude who came up with the idea for the chicken nuggets is probably still in the basement at McDonald's trying to think of ways to make the fries taste better, some shit. And he was like, nah, that ain't right. He's like, it ain't about right. It's about money, right? So it's good to see that the dude actually got something back from.
It's
from
funny
coming up
that Nick calls himself the Wolf because we talk about the Wolf of Wall Street, the movie a lot.
We do talk
too,
about that a lot.
There's
Yes.
a scene in the Wolf of Wall Street where he's in front of Congress, and it was used in this documentary called Capitalism that you all should check out if you get the opportunity. Yes, sir. But they use it in the documentary to kind of explain how it was supposed to be a scene that resonated as negative in the American lexicon, but it resonated as positive because how greedy we fucking are, right? So in the Wolf of Wall Street, this is Gordon Gekko makes a gob of money. He's rich as shit, right? And he's in front of Congress like, I don't make shit. I don't invent shit. I ain't improved on the economy. I ain't improved on society. I just sell shit. You make shit. I steal your shit and I sell shit. And it was a scene that was supposed to resonate on how plastic kind of the American economy was in that time. Right? So what's the Wolf of Wall Street? Late 80s, early 90s? I don't remember what the exact time span when it came out. But in that, they said that the energy of, let's say, the Ivy League schools, right? The Harvards, the Oxfords, the Yales, all of those graduates start to graduate, go to work for these high money, whatever you would call it, trading firms, and they started to manipulate the economy with the same kind of mindset as a Gordon Gekko. Like it's just greed. It's just an
America.
Concept, you know what I mean? It's just really interesting.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I said earlier, like sometimes you just scroll through something and you see an idea. I still have to do research on it, so I don't want to say this as facts. But there was a woman who had an idea and tried to trademark it, tried to get a patent on it. But when it came to her house, because she was black, they didn't allow her to do it. So when she finally could do it, she trademarked, they're called tampons now, but basically how, a woman, what do you call them?
Monthlies.
Periods.
Cycles.
Cycle protectors.
We all grown.
What do you call them? Forget what you call them. But she, when her patent expired, that's when all these companies started getting her stuff. And so none of her family, nothing. None of them get paid from the Kotex, all these different companies that do women's, products. And it all came from a black woman. The fact that we build a Qatar, I had no idea that we build a Qatar.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things where I'm like, yo, we built a doorknob.
Yeah.
That's everywhere in the world.
Stoplight.
Literally.
All the shit. Like bulb.
Like we not getting paid for none of that?
Brain surgery.
None of that? For real?
The meat slicer. I can go down the line. It's just
see what I'm saying?
Peanut butter.
Like
heart surgery
chips.
too.
I love peanut butter.
Like there's so many things. So for me, really doing this, going deep into the history made me more mad. I'm like, so we're not getting paid off none of this.
As it should. But I think that,
we should also take notes and learn how to steal more effectively.
But if we create the shit, what we stealing? Steal our own shit back? We under the OJ Act?
That's kind of part of the problem. Like we don't understand the dynamic. The dynamic isn't about being right or wrong. The dynamic is about who's in control.
So do you think that we naturally just, as people, play offense, but we need to learn defense as well?
I think our whole lives is riddled in defense. I don't think we've ever played offense on this soil. You're not in the polarity to play offense. Your whole life is based in defense.
This nigga's deep.
I am. I am attractive.
I'm getting that, I guess.
So how
and I got on the pine ones. I'm just one more time. This motherfuckers is fucking fresh. Nobody has these. I just say that's
on some Nest Sarsa shit.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. His name is Tucson Warner, y'all, and I just deal with him. Listen, so when is the film going to be out and available to the public?
So January 21st, the day after inauguration, to put pressure on the president,
right after
whoever
Trump
that
becomes
is.
the president, huh?
Exactly.
First 100 days, get it popping.
We getting it popping the first day, literally. Boom, let's get it. We built it. And so we going hard on the promotion for that. There will be another premiere in February or March that will be completely for the public for you to come out. But we're going through Vimeo. Vimeo has a 90-10 split. And that's going to help us. We got, merchandise coming out, like all these different things to be able to get the 50,000. And then from that, take care of my cast and go hard.
I got a quick question. And I don't really care Republican, Democrat. I don't really give a shit. I don't have a dog in this fight. My personal opinion. But since the movie is based on reparations, and I know this is really like a black kind of question, right? If Trump came out today and said he supports reparations for enslaved Africans, would you be a Trump supporter tomorrow? I'm assuming you're not a Trump supporter today.
So I'm going to vote for whoever's doing something for black people. Let me just say it off top.
What's in it for the black people?
What's in it for the black people? Because at the end of the day, I don't trust none of them.
None of them.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Like there's this idea that, you know, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are these two opposing motherfuckers. Like, they're so different. Like, no the fuck they aren't.
Why do we choose to ignore people's past? Like, Joe Biden's mentor has KKK affiliations. I'm so confused.
Yeah, this
has been known.
If you got caught stealing at the Gap when you was 15, nobody in this country would avoid your past.
Period. They would throw it in your face every time you do anything.
Let me tell you something else. We talking about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but George Bush got caught with cocaine. You couldn't get a job at the post office if you got caught with cocaine on your record.
Oh, but you could
and
be the president.
He became the president. So this ain't no new shit. It's just that's what I mean about never playing offense. The rules are different. The rules are different, and that's the difference between having power and not having power. I don't give a fuck if you invented it. If I have the power, it's my invention.
Sure.
It's how it works.
If you were rich,
we looking for equality, which is a bullshit concept. Equality ain't real. Power is power. You got to take power. Nobody's going to give it to you.
So what are your thoughts on when Martin Luther King said, how did the phrase go? I put my people in a burning house or something to basically say when I try to make all of us come together.
I'm afraid that I've integrated my people into a burning home.
That.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that? Do you feel it should stay this way, or do you feel?
But then it's context, though, right? I
Gotcha.
think we kind of look at integration from the King standpoint because his identity has kind of been whitewashed. His integration thought process wasn't to have us drinking at the same water fountain. That was not the theory. The theory was to have equal access to opportunity, equal access to money, equal access to funding. Not that we could live on the same fucking block. That really doesn't mean shit. Right?
Gotcha.
You lived on a block where a bunch of people didn't have your experience in life, right? I got friends whose moms was dope fiends. They lived on my block, but what the fuck was happening in their house wasn't happening in my house.
Yeah.
You gotta leave it right there. Listen, Shyest Love, brother, thank you so very much for coming through. Thank you for introducing us to the film. Thank you for introducing us to your wonderful, wonderful cast. I'm absolutely looking forward to the film. We appreciate y'all coming through.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the love.
Thank y'all so very much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up next, Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz here every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m. for Tucson Warner for the absolute best in the game. Her name is Sonia Escobar. My name is Herb Howard.
She ain't got no mic.
She funny. She funny. We'll see y'all on Friday at 1 p.m. We'll see if we can get you ladies what y'all want, a V cut? We'll see if we can get that done for y'all for Relationship Friday. We'll be back here Friday at 1 p.m. Until then, man, y'all be good to each other. Peace.